Your heart's smarter than your brain. And that tells you something. Because otherwise we're too smart. We learn how to do the spreadsheets and get all the input and things like that. Because I've said, oh, you'll make the right answer if you ask the right question. You have to, the questions are hard. The answers are easy. You have to ask the right question. But then I feel, okay, if you have the right question, you get the answer. It's not going to happen because everything you do in life is such a pain in the ass. If your heart's not in it, it's not going to happen.
Matthew Lesko, known as
the question mark guy from infomercials,
who has spent over 40 years helping people
access government grants and benefits.
Growth is through experience. In retrospect, I find that the biggest growth I've ever had is really in bad things and making decisions that other people told me I shouldn't do. And I feel your loved ones are your worst enemy because they don't want you to fail and hurt yourself. And to me, the only answer is, yes, I know. So why even bother arguing with the people? And that's what I love doing, is taking.
Welcome to It's Your Choice podcast. Today on the show, we have a truly one-of-a-kind guest. You might recognize him as the question mark guy or from his unforgettable infomercials and TV appearances that showed millions of Americans how to unlock government grants and benefits. Matthew Lesko has spent over 4 decades uncovering ways for people to access funds they never knew were available and has even sold over 4 million books in the process. Welcome to the show, Matthew.
Now I hear your Canadian accent. In the process.
In the process. Certain words it comes out. It does come out in certain words.
I had a wife from the South, Georgia, and she worked so hard to get rid of her accent or whatever. But when she called home and started talking to Mama,
it comes back.
Well, I'm fascinated by the title of that, what you do, because I think, when I hear that, I struggled so hard in life at the beginning because I did none of that, and we don't teach people. Everybody, I got an MBA and always want to be successful or whatever, at least feed myself. And nothing was working, and I was doing everything everybody told me to do. Man, I was failing and not even having fun. And I said, this is nuts. I had 2 companies that failed after I got my MBA. And I said, this is a shitty life. So I'm working hard as hell. It doesn't work. I'm failing. And so even if I do another one, so that means if it's successful, I have to be miserable for 30 years. So maybe be happy sometime in the future, which is no guarantee, no matter what the hell you do. So
right.
To me, I figured I had to change that. And I want to be happy now because I can't count on it happening later. It's not, maybe not, But be happy now. And then when I started doing that, then again, things didn't work. But then I found out, hey, I have to stop listening to other people. We all want those 7 steps to success or how to be successful and dress a certain way and do this. And that's how you do it. And we're also goddamn different. And I couldn't be somebody else. And you're not you. And then I say, well, I have to figure out what I am. And the more I dug inside me, like this is the suit, the stuff I wear now. This is me inside. And it took so long to get it out because I was wearing Armani, fancy suits and everything because I thought that was the thing to do. And,
that's unfortunately when we listen and use the word should, which, as we were talking earlier, is I'm trying to delete from my vocabulary and for others, because it's not you should do this or you should do that. It is what works for you, what is within you, what brings you fulfillment.
No, exactly. And then even when I got semi-successful, then I saw myself being a trap and trying to people, if you do this, then that will be better. And everybody, I just thought, I worked so hard to get rid of all the stuff people told me, and then I was setting some success, and then they want to tell me other shit to do. And the more, what I have a phrase now is, your heart's smarter than your brain.
Yes.
And if you follow that sucker more, then that gets it. And that tells you something. because otherwise we're too smart. We learn how to do the spreadsheets and get all the input and things like that. And no matter, what the data say, if your heart's not in it, going to work. Like I used to wear question mark suits. Now it's question mark and hearts, because I've said, oh, you'll make the right answer if you ask the right question. You have to, the questions are hard. The answers are easy. You have to ask the right question. But then I feel, okay, if you have the right question, you get the answer. It's not going to happen, because everything you do in life is such a pain in the ass. If your heart's not in it, it's not going to happen.
It reminds me of a previous guest that I had that said, life is hard and full of challenges. Do you want it to be hard and full of challenges doing things you love doing, or hard and full of challenges doing things you hate?
Absolutely. Because then you'll get through it. So to me, you take somebody else's 5 steps to success. Step 2, 3, 4, one of them is you're going to fall on your ass. And then you just blame that person who gave you the 5 steps.
Yeah, this didn't work. It's their fault.
Right. It's their fault, not mine. And you don't take it apart or find another way around it, through it, or whatever. I mean, that's what life is. And now at aging, I mean, I'm 81 now, and I see, so it's not only that, I don't have to worry about that as much. I still do, but have to fight it every day. But what I find is that now, without, at least as a male in our society, when I grew up in, male worked on being stronger and faster and smarter than anybody else. That was success. And you worked on that. But now, when none of that is going to get better, at 81, none of those things are going to get better. That all the shit's just going down. But what you can do at 81 is love harder. You can love harder, and nobody could stop you doing that harder, or your body, your mind, or whatever. And that has just opened my life so much. I mean, I grew up in a society, you didn't even say it. I mean, in the 50s or 60s, men didn't say love unless they got married or something. That's what I thought.
Well, because there was no emotion to be shown if you were a man. Like men didn't have them externally. Like you could hide them and have them inside, but you never showed any of it.
No, there was no awards for that.
Times have changed.
So now it's so much fun. I mean, I'm growing so much now, more than ever before, and enjoying. I mean, I'm having so much fun now with my life. I'm thinking, God, if I knew 81 was going to be this much fun, why didn't I get here earlier? Why did I waste all that time?
Why did I wait till 81 to have so much fun?
Exactly.
So what would you tell your younger self now? So then you would have been having this much fun earlier. What things would have you told your younger self?
Well, I think it's the love thing, because I mean, it's too hard. I mean, I learned about trusting myself, and that goes back and forth. We all have these external things we worry about. And if I don't have enough money, don't have the obligations we feel. Things we have to make. And I really believe you have to take care of you first, or support yourself first, before you can help anybody else or anything. When I get to say, I'm going to be Mother Teresa, but they can't pay the bills here. And you got to pay the bill first before you want to be Mother Teresa. And that's, but God, I don't know. I mean, because another thing is growth is through experience. And, in retrospect, I find that the best times, the biggest growth I've ever had, is really in bad things and making decisions that other people told me I shouldn't do. And
There's that word again.
That
should word.
Right. And I feel your loved ones are your worst enemy, because they don't want you to fail and hurt yourself. And anything you want to do in life, you got to fail like a banshee to get it. So, they say, well, you don't do that. You're going to fail. And to me, the only answer is, yes, I know. You can always find 50 reasons something's not going to work. I mean, that's an easy.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. So why even bother arguing with the people? And that's what I love doing, is taking the argument away from anybody.
Right.
Like I remember doing interviews and they say, let's go.
Pardon the interruption. If you're liking the show so far, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. It really means a lot to me. It helps grow the show and the channel and to the show.
I think this was on the Today Show too. They said, let's go. Isn't it hard to do an application? I said, yes, it is. But did you know you can get a house for $1 or you get $45,000 to change your whole life? And you just say yes. And the argument goes away. And life is difficult. Yeah. It's pissy and shitty at times.
Absolutely. And we all go through phases of that. So the way that I see it, if we're going to go through it,
right,
yeah, we need to enjoy it.
Yeah. No,
and realize those are our growth points. Because if things are easy and wonderful and great, great. Like those are good. That's our rest time, our enjoyable time, but we're not growing.
Right. But I always think that, I remember going to seminars, on how to be famous or fortune rich or what all these things you do when you're younger. And the people were there telling me how to, shelter $1 million. I'm coming to the seminar because I don't have a pot to pee in, and they spend the seminar telling me how I could not pay taxes on $1 million. God, I mean, that's a nice problem to have. I mean, why do you worry about those?
Right. It's interesting. Yeah. That a lot of us, when we look at, we think others don't have problems, or I wished I had that problem. But then if we do get to that point, then it's still a problem that we don't want. Like, because there's always going to be some type of problem or issue or thing that we need to deal with.
Right. Yeah. No, and that's why it is listen to your heart so we could get to the right places or find the right mates or all this kind of thing. Your heart is so important. I think I remember giving my son's advice about he wanted to quit his job and doing, and he was getting, even at, he was in his early 20s or something. And his friends, he had a good job with a, 401k, and what the fuck you worried about a 401k at 22 years old?
You get a long time before you have to worry about that stuff.
Right. Oh my God. Yeah. But it's fun. And that's why I think it's, to me, I feel that's what, like, this is me inside. So the more I go inside of me and bring that out, the happier I know I am. And then even though it's a problem, some people don't like it or whatever. I lost lots of money when I first started wearing question mark suits. When I first started wearing question mark suits, I was on Home Shopping, and I'd go down there and sell 30,000 books in a day. I mean, it was bigger than Oprah.
Wow.
And I'd show up one day with a question mark suit, and they said, But I made a hard decision to do this. So I went out and bought a suit for the show and things like that, and then gave it up. And they wouldn't have me on, and this was me, and I couldn't take that. And you get information from friends or help or advice. Everyone say, "Hey, well, it's their show, and they want you to dress code, and then to be respectful for them." You can find ways to justify it. We're smart enough to do that, but boy, it was hard, particularly money wise too, and very difficult. But boy, when I did and didn't do it, it really made me great. I found stuff I knew was there. See, everybody's looking for, like in a bad relationship. He only beats me on the weekend, not so bad. And I don't have an option right now. And the same way with jobs. It's not so bad. Not bad. Why move? Whatever. Well, you can't find that option when you're in jail.
Right.
It's not coming to you, and you're waiting for a perfect thing. You don't even know what perfect is. Perfect is after you fall on your ass a bunch of times, going after what you think is perfect, and then you start with, oh, not that. And that, like every business I started with that was successful, it started with a different kind of idea that wound up as. But when you get out there and you see, it's sort of like, I see it's like artwork. I mean, Picasso, I'm not an artist. That, you put some paint on the canvas and you have an idea what to do. But as soon as you put paint on canvas, and like doing something that you want to do in life, a new job or career, whatever, that turns your mind onto something else. And then so I see life as you're an artist painting your own life, and you don't know the end. But we're trained to want to know the end before we even take a brush stroke to it. And now to me, you just have to follow your heart. The only thing you know for certain is what you're doing now is wrong. And that's all you have to know. You don't have to know anything else because you don't know that answer. You just have to know this is wrong and take your first step away from there, because that will then.
And it doesn't even need to be a huge step. Sometimes it's little steps. Like I remember one time when I was unsure of what I wanted to do. I was doing okay, but I wasn't really fulfilled or happy. And my work was okay. But, like many people are like, oh, it's okay. It's not bad, but it's not great. But, and so this time, and this was probably well over, probably a couple decades ago now. And I thought, well, you know what? Computer programming. There's always jobs for computer programmers. There's lots of stuff. I can travel and be anywhere I want. Sounds interesting. And so I went on to Coursera.org.
Oh, I know.
It's still out there. And so I just thought, I'm going to sign up. I'm going to take a computer programming course. And I took that course and I realized very quickly, computer programming was not for me at all. I finished it and I learned things because after that, I had some websites. And so I was able to design and do some stuff myself. They're not as easy to do, now as it was back then. So I was still glad that I took it. I got knowledge from it. I just took that one course and realized that is not something I want to do. And I think sometimes it's important to just try things and decide, because when we can eliminate, then I never thought about it again, because if I didn't, it would always be there in a little bit. Should I have done it? Could I do it? Would I like it? And now once I was done, out of mind. Yep, not for me. Let's focus on something different or try something different. And especially as time is changing now, like there are jobs and things going on that weren't available 10 years ago. And there's some things now that in 10 years aren't going to be around. And so we need to constantly be learning and trying new things as well. Even as hobbies, it doesn't mean that they have to turn into jobs or side hustles or anything else, but it's always good to try and learn new things.
Oh, definitely, as long as you go away, because then that would put some interesting, machinery going on in your mind that you could dispose with now, that you don't have to worry about that being in there to get closer to what it should be. And I think that's what love is. I mean, after my third marriage, I realized I grew up, men didn't work on relationships. That was just something. If you didn't have a date for Saturday, by Friday, you worry about it. But after I started a lot of businesses that failed and marriages failed, I didn't realize that a relationship takes as much work as a business. It just doesn't have to sell. And that was, but also in a relationship, I see, to me, in particular love, I see what love is. And I never grew up like this. Well, first, we never said the word in my house. We were all nice people and everything. But love, I think, is helping someone else do whatever they want to do. And that's your job if you love them. It's not telling them what to do. If they want your opinion, fine, but doesn't matter. Your obligation is to say, what do you want to do in your life? And try to figure out how you could help them do whatever the fuck that is. You have no
help support them along the way.
Exactly, because that's what we all need. It's I see it so many times and heard it from me. You say you want to do something, they say, "Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I just thought of it. I thought it was crazy too. But no, I've been thinking about that for freaking weeks, years, months. To think somebody gets away. Yeah, I'm going to jump off a cliff. People worry about their life all the time. And then with one sentence, we're going to give a guillotine answer. Is just so stupid.
And I think, though, too, is we often worry about the things that never happen. Pardon the interruption. If you're enjoying this episode and you're someone who values performance, clarity, and personal growth, then you're going to love my Mind Matters weekly newsletter. Every week, I send out a quick, powerful piece designed to help high achievers like you master your mindset, upgrade your habits, and lead with more clarity and fulfillment. It's not fluff, it's science-backed, actionable, and easy to digest. It as your weekly reset button to realign with the leader you're becoming. So if you want to go deeper than what we've covered here on the show, then head over to www.sallypeterson.com, that's me, and subscribe. Your next breakthrough just might be one email away. Now back to the show. Or,
Right.
we go through our head and we're like, okay, well, if I start this business, let's just say, then what if? And we think of all these negative things of the what if bad. We don't go and think about the what if good, positive things. And most times, whatever happens, if something negative happens, and I've had it in situations where it's like, oh God, I thought of 100 things, but I didn't think of that one. And so if something happens, it's never what we think about. And so we have to just deal with it. So instead of the way that I think is, instead of thinking about all the negative, focus on the positive. And then whatever happens, happens. And if you decide in the future that maybe it was the wrong decision or a bad decision, you can always then
Divorce.
kind of pivot, change, open a new door. Like
Exactly.
it was the decision that you made was the right decision for the moment, because who knows what would have happened if you would have made that other decision. Part of it could have been timing. It could have turned out even worse than the decision that you made. Like, we'll never know. So we just have to just not even think about it and be, this is my decision. And what happens, I will deal with it as it comes and just move forward.
And what always people would say, well, why are you leaving the security? Aren't you afraid? I'm more afraid of being here for the next year, 2 or 10 years. That is scary.
Mm-hmm. And what is security? Because if we think about it, even to an extreme level, we've all heard of and know of super famous people, whether they were athletes, movie stars, big CEOs or whatever of companies, making millions and millions of dollars per year. They end up addicted to drugs or alcohol, suicidal, have committed suicide, accidentally overdosed. So it's like, or you're so secure with a job or career that we don't like, that doesn't make us happy for money, but we know money doesn't make us happy. So we're better off making less money to be happier than make more and not.
Well, that's what I see about love. Because in capitalist society, we don't dwell on that as much, and the giving part is, to me, the secret is giving is so selfish because it feels so good. There's nothing. And that's right. Like work. Well, we don't want to work hard. We just want to work enough to get paid. Or same in relationships. We don't want to work. We don't want to love hard. We just want, but the joy in life is giving as hard as much as you can. It's not about, playing basketball against a 5-year-old so you win all the time.
Right.
It's stupid. You're not growing as an organic thing or loving. You pick up a puppy. Why? Because you want to pour your heart into it. So relationships like that, they didn't give me enough. Nah, you just got to shovel it out into somebody and hope for the best. And that's the joy, though, is shoveling hard and pouring.
Right.
Not just to be fair.
Right. Well, and they've even done some studies of, what would you rather have? Would you rather have $100 for yourself or give $100 away? And through all these studies, and there's been various amounts and things,
Yeah.
or do you keep it for yourself or buy somebody a coffee, or like all of these things? And everybody who's done something for somebody else has been way happier and for a longer period of time. When they have money, they buy themselves or whatever. So I think one was buy yourself a Starbucks or buy somebody else a Starbucks. People who bought this other person a coffee felt a lot happier, more fulfilled, and for a longer period of time than somebody who just got the free coffee for themselves.
Well, my current business now too. I sold a lot of reference books and things like that. When people stopped buying books, I still want to do the work and educate people about these programs, because so they could live more like we're talking. That's what I see it as, to get people out of jail. I used to, the work I do now, and what I learned about it was working as a consultant to Fortune 500 companies, getting them money and information to get in businesses and do all this stuff. And it shocked me about all the money and help that's available to anybody, not only Fortune 500 companies, in government offices. And, I lost my train of thought. This is what happens.
Well, that's okay, because with that, so for people who, it's good that want to get out of jail, they want to get out of this feeling stuck in places and maybe start their own businesses and things. How do they go about finding grants and loans and things like that?
Do you have enough in the United States? Because my stuff is about the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you go online? I show you some places.
To do a screen share?
Oh, I don't care if you do a screen share. I like to see your face when you see those. But if you can't
I see.
If you're doing a tab, can you open up a tab?
Yeah, I can do that. Okay, I got one open now.
Oh, you're in Canada though. God damn.
But I can pull up US sites.
Oh, okay. Let's try find FIND help HELP.
Okay.
.org. Sorry, you probably put .com, didn't you?
I did, but that's okay. That's an easy fix.
The government, our society, and I'm sure yours is too, is in two portions. One is capitalism, where you need money to get things. The other is the community. And the community is there to give people money and help for problems and improve their life. And in our society, it's about 40, 60 part capitalism, 40 part community that helps people. So I try to do is teach people about the helping side, because they don't advertise. Nobody knows they're there. Nobody's, particularly in the United States. And everybody goes to Google to find everything. You can't find these in Google because they don't advertise there. Did you get in that website?
Yeah, I'm there now. It's asking for a zip code.
Okay, you want to put in mine or anyone you want?
Sure.
Here. 20009.
Okay, 3,636 programs.
See, that there is 3,000 programs, 3,000 plus programs for you as a safety net when you want to do something different. See, this is for any aspect of life. I mean, you can't pay rent. Okay, you're worried about that when you're trying to do your new thing. Go up and put rent in that search on the left-hand side top.
Oh, it wants to verify me, so we'll just take a second, making sure I'm human.
Right.
Needs to verify again. I guess it didn't like my first verification.
Oh,
there we go.
It's the tariffs.
Yeah. Ought to do it twice now.
Okay. So did you get a listing at all?
Yeah. Mortgage rent assistance for hospitalized children, information referral, insurance navigation. There's
Does it show you how many items you have there? Did you put in a keyword rent when you did this?
I did. Yeah. There's 79.
Yeah, that's about what it is.
Yeah,
79
79
sources.
options showing. Yeah.
So that means you have 79 sources. If you're trying to do your thing and don't have money, that will help you pay rent. That's what they're there for.
And this one site has, for everybody who's listening, everything:
Yeah.
food, housing, goods,
Right.
transit, health, money, care,
Everything.
education, work, legal. Those are the ones across the top. So
Legal,
there's
and everything in there will give you money or free services. Like go back and you want to get a new career or change, you go back up into that keyword again. But I think you have to back up a sheet so you don't, you start a new search.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you put in job training.
Job training, 358 options available.
So there's 358 organizations that are free, they're nonprofit or government offices that will give you free job training, even sources that pay your living expenses while you do that to get out of it. So even if you're in a low paying job, just to get something new, and they're usually jobs that they're training for the jobs in need. They don't train much, they don't spend money on jobs that are available, kind of thing. So these are jobs on demand, but 300 organizations. See, you go to Google to do something like that. You put job training, you get 200 million websites, and everybody will want money from you to do that.
Right.
Each one of these are free. So it's the same. You can't pay utilities. You go in there and you find utilities. See, this is what I see this as, is for people. Google stops you from doing things, because you're going to go there and let's say you want to start your business. Okay. You go to start a business and again, you'll get 200 million websites and they'll all want money from it. But let's do another tab. I'm going to show you another one because this is good.
Okay.
It's sba.gov, G-O-V, and then / local - assistance. The place to put in a zip code. Go down a little bit if you don't see it.
Okay. Search. Yep. Zip code.
Okay, good.
Use the same one?
Yes.
And
2000.
Yeah. So a search with that. And I have a number of results.
I think it should be about
For
20
small
or something.
business center. Yeah, there's how many is here? 22 SBA resource
22.
partners.
So there's 22. These 22 organizations are all paid for. You never have to pay any money to use them. What they're there for is for you to start your business, your idea, your nonprofit, your invention, your freelance effort, whatever, and try to find all the help that you need, whether it's money. A lot of them do have money to help you start your business, but those that don't, and because there's no one program. I mean, every city and county and state has money for people to start or expand any kind of business, and because that creates jobs. So that's why if you want to start a nonprofit, you want to start your own business, to me, you go to Google, you're going to get somebody who's going to charge you a lot of money to help you think through that. Here, you make an appointment with them, they're free. And to me, the best way to do it is to make an appointment with 2 or 3 of them to get different ideas. Everybody has different kinds of ideas and whatever to do. And you tell them about it. They'll help you get legal help for free. If you're in debt, they'll help you get out of debt for free. Anything you need to grow a business, that's their job. And they'll never charge you a penny. See, and that frustrates me. I've been talking about this for 50 years and people don't know about it. So it proves how shitty of a job I do.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are aware, but like, as you said, though, in part, the Google search is not showing those things to come up. And sometimes people may think the old saying, if it's too good to be true, so they don't believe that there are these
It's very
types of
true.
services and grants and things like that available. And so there's just a point that it's just a lack of knowledge.
Right. And the other thing is that we're not taught, I think, how to find this kind of stuff. We're taught in capitalist society, we're taught everyone's selling you something. So when you go look for something, everybody's going to kiss your ass until they get your money. Okay. Here, in the government nonprofit, they don't need your money. They're not going to get your money. So they're not, they're not there to kiss your ass. And so if you're not nice to them, they have no motive to help you. And see what happens. People will call the couple government offices and get in the bureaucratic runaround and get pissed off, and they finally find an office to help them. God damn it, I called the government 5 times and didn't help me. You better help me, you lazy, shiftless bureaucrat, and you can't do that.
No, we always need to be nice, even though we can get frustrated, and obviously dealing with government agencies and filling out forms and documents and stuff can be frustrating. But we always have to think of our end result, what we're aiming to do. And how would you like somebody who calls your office or your work or wherever you're at, and maybe they've talked to 5 other people, not your fault. You don't want to be the one being yelled at because you can't help it. So don't do that to other people, right? It's kind of that do unto others, or treat people how you'd like to be treated.
Exactly. That's what I found about all these programs, that I found that you have no excuse not to do what you want to do in life, because there's so much help out there if you learn how to use it. And that's the most important, besides even those in a regular life, or you have to keep care of your mom, or you got a new roof, and those kinds of things too is in there. But the more is that the help that's out there to help you do what you want to do in life. Because see, if you find out what you want to do in life, you could give the rest of us more of yourself. And you could love us harder because you're doing what you want to do, instead of just a little bit to get by, and you as a human grow more by giving more, and giving more your talent or your love or whatever it is. That's how I think we all grow. And so that's why I always thought myself. I mean, that's why you're very interesting to me, because that's what I'm trying to do, is get people to realize they can do what they want to do in life. It's not easy, but it's there and very possible. And at least in this country, we got so much help for that. And who uses it more? The millionaires and billionaires. I mean, when Trump was elected, you look behind him when he was putting his hand on the Bible, there's 5 billionaire buddies behind him, because they know it's easier to get money from the government than anywhere else. I mean, if they're so infatuated with, capitalism, why don't they go out and earn another $1 billion instead of trying to get it from the government? Yeah.
It's easier to have it given to us than it is to earn it.
Yeah.
But
the people who can change their life, I mean, that is what was a millionaire. They don't need it. That's why I was helping rich people. They don't even need it. It's not fun.
It's other people, and the starting out, as you said, starting that new business, not only for yourself, but the ripple effects that it has on your family, your friends, and things like that. Like, people really underestimate the ripple effects of the things that we do individually. Like, when I'm even just being happy, if I'm happy and in a good mood and out, the ripple effect of that is a lot. Or if I'm in a bad mood and negative and maybe mean to people, there's a ripple effect to that as well. And it's not just that one person who it was directed to or something like that. Like, there are ripple effects to everything. And so
you bring that up when you kick the dog.
It's important that we fulfill ourselves and we're happy, because then we help other people become happy as well.
I call it throwing your own party. You got to throw your own party because nobody's going to throw one for you.
That's right. That's right. Or it won't be done the way you like it or want it to be.
Exactly
So,
right. So that's why, I mean, to me, every day dressing like this or whatever, I mean, I dress like this all the time. And I remember when I first had the first child and stuff, oh God, I got to worry about college, all this kind of stuff. And, I found myself making different decisions, you know,
mhm.
oh, this guy, I don't want to work with him. He's an asshole. Okay. And then I thought, oh no, wait a minute. I'm doing that. I'm miserable all day because I'm not doing what I really want to do. And I come home and take it out on the family. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I want to bring joy at home every night. Yeah.
Right.
Uh,
Right. Well, Matthew, I want to thank you very much for your time today. But before we wrap up and I let you go, where can people find you and your books if they're interested in connecting with you?
No more books. I got a membership. Now we have 15,000 people that help each other get government money and help for that. So that's why I don't have to do as much work. I said, how am I going to grow this? And it grew by accident. Again, I started out one way and it grew by itself somewhere else.
Mhm.
That's why you have to start. And it's leskohelp.com. And another thing that's surprising me is people said $20, that's all they charge. I used to charge thousands and thousands, but I wanted to help people. I didn't want to help people could pay thousands and thousands because they don't need help. So I wanted to pay $20. And everybody told me, oh, you'll never make money. We make so much money, we give out $50,000 every month back to members.
Wow. That's fantastic.
That's a wonderful thing to do. And I never thought, a schmuck like me from a coal mining city could do something like this. I thought you had to be Jeff Bezos or his ex-wife to do something like this.
We don't need to. You don't need to be. So glad you're helping many people. And I will make sure to have the links to that in the show notes so people can easily connect with you and join up with your membership. And I just again want to say thank you very much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure, Sally. You're a sweet lady. Thank you.